What's up, everybody? We got the keyboard cam today because we are talking about quick peek and we are talking about movement. I'm going to show you guys how to peek like a pro, because a lot of times people will get shot in the face because their movement is bad. You know, you walk around the map like this. This ain't great. This ain't great. You're going to get fried pretty easily. But if you're coming in, peeking corners like this, you're taking out enemies. Boop, boop. Boop, 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 because you have extra information. The quick peek is giving you information. So the entire point of quick peeking is to get these little bits of information without exposing all of your body. Because if you are peeking into a room like this, anybody on any angle can then see you and shoot you in the face. So it allows you to peek these angles one at a time in a much safer fashion. So if you don't drone or you suck at droning, you don't have to rely as much on your drones for information when you can do these kind of quick peek things. So that's kind of the point of it. So let's actually talk about the keybinds for this, because I believe that Q and E is simply just the best keybinds to have for leaning. If you're having on your mouse, it could affect your aim a little bit. Now it is preference as what you want to use to quick lean, but for the purposes of this guide, we will just be talking about Q and E because I simply have no other experience with any other leans. I had it on my mouse for a bit, decided it was kind of stupid because it was throwing off my aim, hitting my side buttons as I'm leaning, right? I think it is really not that hard to use the Q and E to lean, especially if you just get some practice in on it. Quick peeking is not going to do much when you are over peeking. So if you don't know the map layouts, this guide is probably not going to help you until you understand how the map is laid out. Because if I don't know there's a window here and I'm coming in quick peeking the door like this, anybody on this window is going to peek me. You have to know each and every little angle that the defenders might be in order to successfully line your crosshair up with where they're going to be and then quick peek that sort of information the same way we are doing right now. So knowing the map layout is very, very important in order to be able to quick peek successfully. So going into a terrace hunt and running through the maps, or just staying ADS and figuring out all the angles of the maps is a good way to do it. If you are very serious about trying to improve and get better at the game, then I would recommend doing this before every rank session or before every time you play the game. Just go into a couple maps, run through it, kind of try to learn all the different angles, pay attention to the different spots they could be. Like a guy could be back here, so maybe I'll want to learn that, like, oh, I should be checking that. I should be checking this window. Like you saw me earlier, I overflicked this window. So it's like, from now on, I'm going to peek this because, like, there might be a guy holding the bathroom from there, etc. So you can go through the maps, do this to actually improve your map knowledge and your quick peek. Okay, so let's get into the actual peeks. How do I actually do this? Well, the one I've been doing this entire video is how I quick peek. This is how Shiko peeks. I think it's called the Shiko peek. But anyway, this is the most advanced form of quick peeking. So before we get into that, let's talk about how to quick peek a little easier than that, which I am clearly horrible at because it is kind of like the opposite way to do it, but this is more of a beginner's way to quick peek. So if you are new to peeking or you're new to Siege and you want to just learn how to do this, this is a great place to start. It's almost identical. You can see that you're still getting information. So like if a guy's in this hallway, I'm still getting information on the hallway faster than doing this, right? This is not as fast as this. And I'm exposing way more of my body doing this. Now, this is even a good place to start. If you're new, like just learning the angles this way is also a good way to do it, is just side to side, and then later on you can get into the whole quick lean kind of thing. As you can tell, I am really bad at this way. So anyway, to do this, what you need to be doing is start from a non-leaning position and then lean into it, and you literally are just tapping that key twice. You can see in the camera here, I'm just hitting E twice. You'll hit D and E almost at the same time, and right after that, you're hitting A and E. So your ring finger should be on A, your index finger on D, and your middle finger will be on E. So you go from non-leaning, tap E and D, tap A and E. So D, E, A, E, D, E, A, E, D, E, A, E, D, E, A, E. So that will move you over a bit and then pull you back into cover. So you're moving like this, but at the same time, you're doing the lean in there. So that would be peeking to the right with the beginner way. So now let's talk about peeking to the left, which is pretty much just the same thing, but instead of E, you're using Q. So what you want to do is now, instead of having your middle finger on E, you're going to move that middle finger over to Q. E to Q, E to Q, right? And what you'll do is you do QA, and then DQ. QA, DQ, QA, DQ, QA, DQ. Right? Yeah, that's right. So QA, DQ, QA, DQ, QA, DQ, QA, DQ. You get better at it, you'll get faster at it, and you'll be good to go. And as you can see, I am really bad at this. This is a type of lean I literally never use. It is much more simple than the advanced way, but I am in the habit of doing it already that it's completely muscle memory. So the more you practice it, the better it'll get in muscle memory, and then you'll be good to go. My left side peaks are also just way weaker. You will notice that you'll have one side that is stronger than the other. The same way I am much better on the right and not so much on the left. So yeah, this is obviously something I really need to put some practice in on. So moving on to my preferred way to quick peek, which would be the Shiko peek, or like the advanced way to peek. So to peek like this, which you see in pretty much all my videos, all the etc. This is how I always quick peek if I'm quick peeking. You don't have to quick peek all the time, but if I am quick peeking, I'm usually doing it like this. So in order to do this, this one is a little more complicated. You can tell that my fingers are kind of swinging across the keyboard as I'm doing it. So you start out without a lean. You'll lean in with Q. You'll move over for the peek with the A. You'll Q and D to out peek it, and then you lean back again with Q. Very slow, this looks like this. And then when you speed that up, you get this. So this is the way you should practice it. And it looks horrible right now, right? But you see how effective, you see how it's still doing the peek. Now sure, you could just lean out with E, but then you're nowhere near to take a gunfight. So this is a much faster way to clear it by leaning back into it. So, I mean, you could do this. You could just do this, but then it's going to be, you're going to have to reset every time by hitting that Q afterwards. So the faster you get at it and the better you get at it, the easier it'll be to quick peek. So again, slowly, that is A, Q, E, no, sorry, A, D, E, Q. A, D, E, Q. So that's why you get this motion with my fingers. You can see where it's really flying across the keyboard. So that one is much harder to do. So now let's move on to the other side of the advanced one, which would be just the mirror look of this, which this is actually my preferred way to do it, because my ring finger doesn't have to go flying up and down. So the way this works is you're leaning to the right with E again, you're hitting D to move in on the peak, AQ to move out, and then E again to lean in. So it looks a little wonky again, like the same one. So it's D, Q, A, E, 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 D, Q, A, E. So let's say I'm an attacker and I'm coming into Sunrise. This is a pretty classic area to push as an attacker, and a lot of the defenders shoot drones very often. So rather than walking up to this door and opening it like this, I want to open the door from the side, and then I can get some information on the bar. Okay, there's nobody on the bar. I can kind of push in. Maybe he's on this angle. Maybe he's on this one. And doing this kind of thing is what's going to, the practice that's going to make your quick peeks a little bit better. But drones are always superior than quick peek info. So guys, if you are not droning, make sure you learn how to drone first before you're going in to try and quick peek everyone. But if you are just working on this or trying to improve, like even going into a casual match or an unranked game and just practicing in there by not using drones and trying to use your quick peeks to get info on everything you need, could also be a good way to improve. So that's it, guys. That's how you quick peek. It's pretty straightforward. I hope you guys got something out of this video. If not, I'm sorry. This was a pretty scrappy video that I just kind of threw together. But yeah, have a good one.